I'm scrolling through images like this on Instagram. It's like, I want this. I want this 15-foot black olive tree right in the middle of my home. You know, I'm dying over this Busita Bucera, and I even went and did this deep dive on Instagram to try to find where can I buy it. I love it, especially in this like centuries-old clay pot. It's such a vibe, but you know what? It's not realistic. In today's video, I am going to show you how to style your home with indoor plants, real people, real challenges. Let's go. Hello everyone, I'm Julie, a formally trained certified interior designer. But in today's video, I will be playing beginner plant stylist. You know, my indoor plant journey started when I bought this house, so that was not even 10 years ago. Before I had this home, I actually lived in a teeny tiny studio with very low light. I didn't even want to begin my plant endeavor because I was afraid I was going to kill them. And then when I bought this home, it's a mid-century ranch with all of its beautiful windows, light-filled space. I'm like, yes, honey, this is when the indoor jungalow comes alive. It all started with one humble corner, and then it started gradually growing to the west wing, and then the north wing, and then the south wing of the home. And finally, here's my home in all of its splendor. Now let's take a couple of steps back, okay? This all didn't happen overnight. One of the biggest pain points and struggles for a beginner plant novice is that you don't even know how these plants are going to do in your home, and I absolutely understand. So I do have 3 tips that you should always abide by when you're starting your indoor plant collection. Number 1, follow the light. What does that mean? You want to look for natural light sources whenever you can. So look to your windows, your door openings, maybe like a sliding door. And then as a second line of defense, you can start looking at all of the placements of artificial lighting that you have in your home. So natural lighting would always come first, and you can always supplement with artificial lighting as well. The second tip is to do basic research. You don't have to be an encyclopedia of plant knowledge just to raise like a small indoor plant. Just start with one plant that you love and just learn really basic tips like when to water it, when to feed it, do you need to fertilize it? I fertilized one of my propagated fiddle leaf figs and it died maybe like a month later, and after that I was like, nope, I am never going to fertilize any of my indoor plants again because I really don't know how to do it. So until I do a little bit more research and I understand how to feed the plants and how to offer it the nutrients, I'm just going to cut out that fertilization portion and learn that in phase 2. And my last and final most important tip is to practice. Practice, play, and have fun. The thing with plants is that you really can't go wrong. I mean, unless you kill it, but then you can still compost it and use it as plant food. So in the end, you really cannot go wrong. I want you to play, I want you to have fun, I want you to get your hands dirty. And then once you have amassed, you know, like a cute little collection, here are my best tips to style your indoor plants to keep your space happy, bright, and cheerful. So you have a bunch of baby plants, you pick them up from the nursery or a garden center. What do you do with it? I have this bookcase in my living room, and it's kind of on symmetrical sides of the living room. It spans the whole thing. I love symmetry in a space. So the first thing that I did to expand the look of the living room was I installed these bookshelves. One of the main reasons that I installed it right in front of a window was for it to house my indoor plant collection. I have a lot of these really small little plants. Always think about vertical heights to expand your collection. Not only is that going to expand the visual height of the entire space, but then it offers all of this brightness, you know, you bringing the outdoors in. Now this corner is punctuated with just like a sea of green, and I love it. So let's talk about the plants that I have in this corner. Remember what I said about following the light. I have a window here, and it's not the most prudent choice to put a bookshelf right in front of the window. But hey, guess what? I also have a row of windows, like 15 feet spanning this elevation as well. So I'm not gonna miss this guy at all. And you know, if I peek a boot outside, I can see exactly what my neighbors are doing, which means they can see inside to my house as well. So no. This is a Peperomia obtusifolia. It's like a tiny little mini rubber plant. I love it for its big waxy leaves. Now, I have a collection of these. I actually have a few of them scattered throughout. I also have a Peperomia argyrea here, which is like the Peperomia watermelon plant. I love its big, waxy, kind of watermelon looking leaves as well. So this window is a west-facing window. I get a lot of light in this window, but I especially love the big waxy leaves because they're so low maintenance. It's very hardy, it's very durable, and I leave them in their nursery pots. So a quick styling tip, this is not styling, okay? This is styling. All you have to do is pop it in a cute little vase and there you go, voila. I always look for ceramic vases with like a little tray underneath so it can catch all of the excess water. If you're looking for really basic plant care tips, definitely watch this video. I'm gonna link for you right here. It is my top 30 favorite low maintenance, low light plants. Okay, so we've got also some really cute propagated, this is all propagated, okay? This is also like my little propagation station. I have a propagated pothos here, and this was made from like my mother plant, which is on the other side of my house. I chose a really beautiful concrete vase for this one. I pretty much pick up plants everywhere, but vases, I'm very strategic about my vases. If you want your plant collection to look very cohesive and really vibes with your space, choose neutrals. My neutral collection is mostly creams, ivories, some beiges, some concrete, like natural finishes in there. And then if I have a planter that's like a very special type of planter, if it's vintage, this is an antique. This is actually my mom's old vase. She's had this for, gosh, I want to say over 30 years. They make so many different reproductions of this. I actually found a lot of really great samples on Wayfair that I'm going to link for you as well. Thank you to Wayfair for sponsoring a portion of today's video. Wayfair is having a huge Memorial Day sale from May 16th to May 27th. Snag major deals on summer refresh essentials like indoor planters, outdoor furniture, artwork, accessories, and more. I picked up this chic and modern side table from Wayfair that I'm using as a plant stand to prop up my marble queen pothos. When styling indoor plants, remember the rule of threes in design. Group plants in odd numbers like 3 and 5 to create symmetry and balance. Use the floors, walls, even ceilings to create your composition. Trailing ivies almost beg to be hung up, and these hanging planters come in a set with hooks to make it super easy for beginners. I like to keep most of my vases neutral and pop in some statement pieces like these porcelain planters that look like my mom's antiques. The perfect way to inject your personality, yes, even with planters. Sculptural plants call for luxurious finishes, so I'm loving how this marble and brass side table really elevates the look of my monstera. Save up to 70% off during Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance. With fast shipping, you can have the perfect items to style your indoor plant oasis in no time at all. And always remember that if your plants are thriving in a particular location, don't you dare move it. I also love picking up vases at like my local thrift store. This one I thrifted. I want to say it was only like, $5.99. So cute. And I actually love kind of like the two-tone vibes. We've got this woven basket material on top, and at the bottom is like ceramic. It's even got like these really cute beads in it. So anytime you, this is something I definitely have to pick out. You know, you gotta care for your plants as you go, okay? Here's like one wayward dead plant, but the rest of it looks pretty good. So you always wanna choose a pot that's obviously larger than your nursery pot. So I actually have 2 pots in here, okay? A pot within a pot, because this is like the functional one that's going to catch all of the excess drip. And then this is the pretty one. So think about your composition, think about the colors, think about creating a collection that is housed within a bookcase, a shelf, just some sort of system where you can see all of your different plants in varying heights. I'm still in the living room, okay? I've kind of just shifted and now I'm in the center of the space. So I have this like huge media console. You always want to follow the light, remember? So I still have all of this really beautiful light in the living room, and there's always a pot here. Now this pot always changes, okay? And it's really according to what I'm really into at that moment. So I found this Dracaena Janet Craig, and it is the cutest little mini. And I love it because it's very low maintenance. It can grow to a taller size, and when it does, I can shift it. So remember that I'm styling with all neutrals, and anytime I'm adding like a pop of color or like a different pattern into the space, then all of a sudden this vase feels more special. It feels more intentional. And the best thing about it, remember we talked about symmetry, I also have another vase just like it on the opposite side of the media console. This one is a ZZ plant that was gifted to me from my girlfriend. I want to say it was from Costco, because I actually bought the exact same one, and she's actually thriving on the other side of the house, and on this side she's not doing so hot. So that's what I'm talking about, playing with your plant collection, okay? I'm not worried about this plant. It's a ZZ plant, which is often known as the easy plant in the plant industry, in the plant world. It's one of those plants that's like indestructible. So even though I know she's not doing super well over here, once I move her to other locations in the house, she'll do better. But I'm loving the symmetry right now, so I'm not hating it. Always look to get vases and vessels in the same style in different sizes. That way, when you add all of your plant collections, even though you're choosing different plants, the collection still feels very cohesive and very pulled together no matter where it is in your home. We are now in my beautiful entryway landing, and this has to be the ugliest entryway plant styling that you've ever seen. But this is what I'm talking about. You know, you look at the design magazines and you see these like really big, beautiful trees right in the middle of the home, and that's like so unrealistic because you know what? My money tree, my Pachera aquatica, is the queen of the home, okay? I am following the light, and this is where she thrives the most, the best. Money in my pocket, plant at the entry. Is it the most stylish place ever? No, but you know what? I need her to grow. So she loves this light. She loves the clear story windows. Eventually, I want to move her, but not too far. I mean, kind of in the same vicinity because she loves this light and she's thriving here. So always think about not only beautiful styling, but where is your plant going to thrive the most? This entry also has some poison arrows, okay? You walk into the house and I've got this like monstrosity of a fireplace here. There's some really sharp angles. So I have softened up some of these sharp angles by placing my really beautiful gifted Monstera on a brass table. I actually picked this one up from Wayfair as well, and it's got this really beautiful brass stand on a marble stone top. I love this side table because I've used it for so many different things. You know, I used to use it as like a drinks table, and then like now I have kids, they knock everything over. I'm currently using it as my Monstera plant table, and if you are a Monstera plant parent, you know that Monsteras are finicky. They love a lot of light. We are still here in my entry/living room, and she's doing well. Look, new growth, okay? We love new growth around here. It almost looks like this pot was made for her, but it's not. This is another Wayfair purchase as well. I actually purchased this vessel in like 3 different sizes, and I have them scattered around the house. So that's what I'm talking about, creating a cohesive environment, right? And I also love that it has this little tray underneath. It's gonna collect all of the water once it kind of like flows out. So we don't want any water buildups, especially for our precious Monstera. It's actually a rare one too. We are now standing in my lounge, and these 2 windows are a north-facing window and an east-facing window. So it's not a whole lot of natural light that streams through these windows and openings. So this is like the perfect corner for all of my ficus and like trailing ivies. I have a really beautiful ficus elastica here, and it's sitting in its own pot. I love this guy. You know, this rubber tree, the rubber plant is indestructible. I love the big waxy leaves. It just adds like a moment here. It's adjacent to my dining room. And so my dining room got a lot of black and white accents. So I want you to think about that when you are styling plants in your home. Which type of plant colors would vibe with the space that it's styled in? So I love that it has these dark green leaves set against like a black and white high contrast space. I just think it feels so chic. The ficus elastica just has its own moment. You know, it's really big, it's bushy. So it has to take up a lot of footprint, which I love because it's a statement tree. Now, what if you have all of these smaller hanging ivies? What are you gonna do with these guys? You know, I have a spider plant here. I have marble queen pothos, which is like trailing ivies. I love to hang them up high. You always want to think about varying your heights, varying the textures, looking for different types of vases that is going to support the composition. I found some of these macrame hangers while I was vacationing in Amsterdam. I was actually on my honeymoon. And I love buying things like home decor when I'm traveling, because once I bring it back, it's just a reminder of such a special trip. Now, I had only bought like a handful, and I needed more to finish this collection. You could look for really quality dupes to finish your collection, and it looks like it was made that way. If you're nervous about hanging hooks right into the ceiling, don't be. I mean, I was able to do this. This installation probably took me less than like 5 minutes. The difficulty was trying to figure out which plants were going to go in which hanging basket. I have an east-facing window and a north-facing like patio door. It's like French door, it's glass. So I am following the light first, and then I'm kind of playing with my composition and the different plants that I cycle in and out. Before I had this rubber plant, you know, some of you have been with me for years, okay? The very first plant that I ever started playing around with in this house was, oh my gosh, my beautiful, beautiful fiddly fig, which is a ficus lyrata. I purchased it at my local hardware store and it was like only $60. And then it grew to this monstrosity to the point where it was hitting my roof. It got to the point where it was so overgrown. I propagated so many of them. And since these last 10 years, I have given them all away. Now, I don't have any ficus lyratas in this home, but my beloved ficus elastica is here to stay. Think of plants as living home decor. Sometimes you have them in bookcases, sometimes you have them on a coffee table or on a surface tabletop. You always want to think about those different levels and the varying heights. We've got some plants that are hanging in the planters from the ceiling, but we also have the same types of plants that are sitting on a tabletop. This is the antique side table that I thrifted, gosh, like years and years ago. I have layered this side table with a tray because it's actually hiding water damage on the table, but I don't want to get rid of this table. It feels so pretty. So I am covering it with a brass tray, which I've then also layered with a, look at this, plant stand because I want to elevate the height of my plants, okay? I always want you to think about the shapes. You know, we have something square here, something round on top, something round here, and then we are echoing that shape. You know, that's design 101. It's all about repetition, right? We have that round shape. So I love this metal side table that I'm using as a plant stand as well. So anytime you have like trailing ivies like this, you always want to think about elevating its height, because look at this. Oh my gosh, it's already dropped to the floor. This guy probably needs like another stand, don't you think? When I was younger, I remember in my teenage years, after I came home from school, my parents would make me water the grass every single day. I'm like, you know, this is the most boring task that I could come up with, okay? Like I'm just standing there watering the grass, the same old patch of grass for like 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. And then now in adulthood, I'm like, you know what? They were onto something. I feel like they really nurtured that biophilic sensibility in me at a very young age. And here I am making videos on YouTube about plants. What a full circle moment. If you love this type of content and you want more indoor plant styling tips, definitely watch this video. I'm gonna link right here. This has all of those really beautiful Pinterest-worthy spaces in there. They're very high design. And of course, you know, you look at some of these installations and you know that they cost thousands of dollars. That's not what we're trying to do here. I want you to start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and of course, have fun with it. If you like this type of content and you want more plant videos on the channel, please give this video a like and a thumbs up. Comment below and let me know if you have any questions when it comes to styling a particular plant that you have in your home. Let me know what the plant name is, maybe the size, and I'll offer some designer tips to help you refresh your space and bring in some of those great outdoors indoors. Share this video with all the plant lovers out there and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next week.